everything is great. Okay, thanks, Lana, for this information. So I would say, okay, still people are joining, but anyway, our time is running and I'm always talking too much. So therefore, I would like to start right now. So first of all, forgive me the image, but I thought it would be a funny idea because it will fit to the title, Endpoint Cyber Protection version 2, how would a superhero protect their systems and people? And this is exactly what I want to tell you today. My name is Markus Bauer. I'm technology evangelist in Acronis now for nearly 6 years. I'm based near Munich and I'm in charge of the academy team in the EMEA region. And I'm really happy to do this session with you today to drive you through what is cyber protection, how do we see cyber protection as an Acronis, and what can we offer to help you to ensure and secure your device at the end. So first of all, let me shortly explain who is Acronis and where we are coming from and why we are a superhero in cyber protection. Hopefully most of you are familiar with us as a company, but I'm pretty sure most of you are seeing Acronis as a backup company, which was true in the past for sure, because when you see where we come from, it's our foundation date is 2003 in Singapore, and then we established a second headquarter in Switzerland for the European market. But we were founded as a backup company and mainly the home user environment with our true image backup product. But, and this is where the change comes in, we are not a backup company anymore. And now for years, we are doing more than this. We are doing cyber protection. And what is cyber protection? It's a combination about data protection, so traditional backup and recovery, and cyber security. And we brought together these big topics because in our eyes, in our speeches, we always claim that backup, traditional backup alone is not working anymore. You need more nowadays. Interesting, I remember a few years ago, a guy from a security vendor had said exactly the same. Traditional cybersecurity, as you know it, is not working anymore. There needs to be more. And that's exactly what we do with cyber protection. We do more. We want, and our aim is really to protect your devices in any belonging, not only doing a backup of your data in case of doing much more. And out of this, we created a product called Acronis Cyberprotect Cloud. And this is where we are going to the market nowadays. So we are not a backup company anymore. We are a cyber protection company. And I would say we are the cyber protection, sorry, for this company. And what is this Acronis Cyber Protect, or what did we do? Acronis Cyber Protect is for sure also a backup. So we took our reliable backup and recovery and created more around it. So for sure, we have everything you're used to from us from the past included. Full image backup. We are, by the way, we are kings of images. Therefore, our home user product was called True Image Backup because we know exactly how to do and deal with image backups, but also file level backup up to disaster recovery, including metadata collection for security forensic. Everything is included. But on top of traditional backup, we added the so-called next-gen cyber security, an advanced AI-based behavior detection engine. Wow, sounds wow, amazing. What And why AI? Mostly it's about machine learning. And it's like with our humans, if you talk about human intelligence, it's also about learning. We need to learn to be intelligent. And the same thing we do in regards of cybersecurity. With machine learning, we train the machine and or to be intelligent, to find these zero-day attacks, to find this new upcoming ransomware never heard before, and so on and so forth. So a full-blown next generation cybersecurity solution. And by the way, this component of machine learning in AI is really, really important, because also on the other hand, the bad guys are using this new technology. We know about ransomware, which has AI and ML built in. Ransomware like Wasted Locker, which is learning about your behaviors, how you behave with your machine, which data you are using mostly and often, and therefore is learning how to attack you best. So therefore, yeah, we need to strike back with the same technology. Therefore, this AI is really important. But that's not all. On the right side, you see, we also added enterprise protection management. What does it mean? This is a part of enterprise management, but also a part of enterprise protection stuff. URL filtering is a great example of a functionality of a feature which is often not seen as needed, but it's absolutely important. Why is it important? If you trust statistics, then every 10th web page is infected by malicious code, which is a lot, by the way. So therefore, we established a mechanism to, let's say, scan the payload of a web page with an HTTP, HTTPS interceptor to see if there is something malicious which might harm me on this page. And if yes, we will block it. For sure, you can also put URLs on a blacklist. So if I don't like somebody going to this domain, you can put it on the blacklist. But the main purpose is really to protect you from this ransomware malware delivered by a web page. And the most ransomware, by the way, the most malware is still delivered through web pages. Then we have vulnerability assessment and patch management built in. Also really important and often, also not really used. I remember my times when I started my business career in IT, I heard the first thing I learned was never touch a running system. Maybe you heard about this as well. But in regards of having a secure endpoint, you need to touch the running system because you need to patch your system regularly. To patch your system, you need to know about your vulnerabilities. A great example how important it is WannaCry. I think everybody knows about WannaCry ransomware. I would say the most famous one. I remember it was the first ransomware I saw even in the German news in the TV. When you check about WannaCry, you will learn that still today, WannaCry is encrypted thousands of machines worldwide. Even if we know exactly this is the vulnerability which is used from WannaCry, and here is the patch to close this vulnerability, to close this backdoor. But systems are not patched because patching, it's time consuming, it has a lot of issues can happen and so on and so forth. There are various reasons why you are not patching systems. Therefore, we thought it would be a good idea to integrate this in this solution to do an automatic scan about your vulnerabilities and then even set up the system to fully automatically patch your machines. So you can make sure that your endpoint, your end device is always up to date and patched. Then a few other things like remote management and drive health, especially remote management is something I really love. It's in regard of giving easy and fast support, because out of the Cyberprotect console, you can log in to any device in the environment easily with one click without any additional solution. So let's see really what we created, what's in. Everything is about your workload, your endpoint, which is the center of everything. And with Cyberprotect Cloud, we are creating this shield, this protection shield. I remember in the US, they always claim it as an igloo. I call it, and I love to call it, protection shield. And again, forgive me for my images. I thought it would be a fancy idea to have this to really make clear about what is the idea behind Cyberprotect Cloud. We want to protect, and I'm a big science fiction fan, therefore I created this protection shield. So people try to attack you, but they fail because of Cyberprotect Cloud has this perfect shield. And this shield, it contains different features at the end. You see there is a part for security, like already said, vulnerability assessment, like our active protection, the protection against ransomware, like antivirus, anti-malware protection, device control, and a few others. Plus management with group management of your workloads and the centralized plan management, to have one SLA, to have one, whatever for your machine, one plan saying this is the default we are using in our company. Remote desktop, I mentioned. Remote assistant, you can send more or less a link to another person, say, okay, can you please support this guy here? And hardware inventory, also something often useful, especially nowadays with the COVID situation, still people working from home. You don't know, maybe it's even bring your own device, so you don't know what is this guy using. What is the endpoint device? What is this laptop he's using? We know it because we can do this hardware inventory. And then the backup part, for sure, still a big part with our file level, image backup, application backup, network share backup. Everything you're used to from Acronis is fully integrated. It's a real pay-as-you-go functionality, really important. You pay only what you use, not more, not less. A lot of features, you see also Notary and file sync and share here, I will say something in a minute, is pay as you go. And this is really, so therefore, normally you pay after a month, which means we check what is consumed and then we charge you for this. So this is a fair and real pay as you go model. On top, you can add, as said, disaster recovery for your important workloads. On top, we are offering file sync and share. Yes, we have also a file sync and share solution. This is one of the best kept secrets in Acronis, I have the feeling. A lot of people are not aware we have something. It's, you can compare it with other solutions like Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, and so on and so forth. But the big difference here is we are trying to make the most secure file and sync solution, which means you have full control about your files, where they're stored, who has access to your files, FIPS 140-2 encryption, and so on and so forth. So really a high secure file sync and share solution. And then on the left, the last big part is our Notary service. Also something often people are not aware about our Notary service. What is Notary? Notary is a mechanism or possibility to ensure the authenticity, the integrity of your files. Which means, easy spoken, I can check if somebody manipulated my data. This is something which is really important on sensible data. Think about patient information in a hospital, but also legal stuff and so on, contracts. But I would say nowadays it's more or less needed for nearly every file. We already see malware, which is not like a ransomware encrypting your files and then ask for ransom. Malware, which is manipulating your files. And one example here is, and this is really happening, or this happened really, is that somebody, we don't know who, or was it a software, or was it really done by humans, but somebody manipulated the IBAN number on an invoice. And these invoices are created out of this manipulated template. So invoices were sent out with the wrong IBAN number, and the customer at the end paid, but he paid to this IBAN number. So long story short, the money was gone. Customer was fine because he paid, he can prove he paid. So the issue was really on the partner sending out this invoice. And yeah, they never figured out who did this manipulation. But it happened. So a lot of money was lost due to manipulation. And there is way more coming, unfortunately, I have to say. So therefore, you need something which gives you the possibility to prove that your data is still correct. But this is not all. We can even make the shield bigger to protect you from more advanced, as a science fiction fan, I have to say, weapons. Therefore, we created the advanced packs. And we have different advanced packs. We have an advanced pack for security. We have an advanced management pack. We have an advanced backup pack, an advanced disaster recovery pack, and an advanced email security pack. And we are working on more packs to come. The idea is every workload, every endpoint is different. Therefore, you need also different levels of protection. Maybe this is a laptop being in the home office, maybe even, I don't know, behind a small router from my ISP, so I don't have this big firewall. I need more additional security. I can enable the advanced security pack for this device. Maybe we are not talking about an endpoint like a laptop. We are talking about a server in a data center, running my Oracle database or whatever, my Exchange cluster for email. Maybe I need additional advanced backup functionality. So let's add advanced backup to this workload. And the same for management. And maybe there is my CRM system. I need to have it up and running 24/7. So let's add disaster recovery. So you decide granularly to optimize the shield, the protection shield, to any of your workloads, always having the best fit. It's not like one size fits all. It's really every workload is different. Therefore, you need to have different feature set. And at the end, it's also something about finance. Why should I pay for everything if I use only one of these features? So therefore, we tried to be as granular as possible with different advanced packs to meet always the best in regards of feature set. That's the idea. Why is it important? Let's talk a little bit about ransomware and malware in general. Only a few slides here before I jump to the live demo. I think it's not a secret that especially ransomware is growing like hell. You see the numbers from 2014, 2019 to 2020 going from 13% to 54%. So half of the attacks are done or are malware and especially ransomware. But how is ransomware spreading? Why is the number growing like this? Various reasons. One reason, by the way, unfortunately, is really the COVID situation. People moving to the home office, not being behind the big company firewall, not controlled by any software solution, often bring your own device, so easy to attack. And we have seen this really in regards of the COVID situation, how the ransomware blow up in numbers, 300% growth and even more. So how is it working? How does a ransomware spread? Various possibilities here. One, and I really love because it remembers me on my beloved colleague, Candid. He's our VP for cybersecurity. And he told me a few months ago, you know, this RDP needs to be really renamed from Remote Desktop Protocol to Ransomware Delivery Protocol because so much ransomware is coming through RDP. It's absolutely easy to spread ransomware through this protocol. I said, wow, oh, interesting. And then he showed me a few examples and he's absolutely true. I know Remote Desktop Protocol, it's a great solution. It's in the Windows system. Just turn it on and then you can connect, but it is, yeah, you open somehow a door for the bad guys. Then something I already mentioned, malicious URLs. Every 10th web page has malicious code. Malvertising, also, this is something I'm pretty sure you all are aware about this. The same like drive-by downloads. Interesting. It's not really a malicious URL. It's more or less, you don't need to be actively surfing to this. It's really by, yeah, drive-by, like going to a drive-through. And finally, email attachments. By the way, talking about email. Email is still number one to get malware, especially ransomware. But it's not the attachment. Often I know the people often say, oh, these PDF attachments, don't open it, it's malicious. It's not really these attachments. Mostly are links in the email. This is this. You can call it also phishing emails. This is often the case. So there is a link in the email, and therefore, again, URL filtering might be a nice idea. And this is leading me to this statistic saying, okay, 54% are coming from phishing emails. More as half of the ransomware attacks are coming from phishing emails. And I have to say, I'm often checking my spam folder, and I have to say, really, these emails, they are brilliant nowadays. I remember a few years ago, these phishing emails are crappy, lousy, a lot of wrong words, misspelling, It looks like a robot translated something into German for me. And also the pictures, not the right pictures, the links where you see immediately, oh, this link is going to somewhere else. But nowadays they are really perfect. I remember my mother was calling me a few weeks ago and asking me about an email saying, hey, I got this email from my bank. What should I do here? And it was really, it looks perfectly. It was from her bank, and even the link, the domain that was somehow nearly the same like her bank with just one character different. So it's not easy to find this. And this leads to the second point, poor user practices, and also gullibility somehow. If I'm not used to, and I get this email, or I'm surfing to this page, then maybe for me it looks good, but at the end it's not. The same, also the third point is in this direction, lack of security training. Often people are not trained on this, so they are not aware. So how should they know? Then weak password, yeah, something I did in the past as well. Nowadays, I have a solution to create passwords, really important. We talked about RDP, clickbait, malicious websites, and so on. Lost and stolen user credentials, even if we often see this big email shout saying, oh, 5,000 passwords stolen. This is only 10%, so this is not really the big number. The big number is still coming through your email. And what we also found out in our security report from last year, 40% more cyber attacks expected to target remote workers. I already mentioned this. And we did a new report. Every day we do a report. And here you see the top 5 numbers of the second half from last year. By the way, if you're interested in our Acronis Cyber Threats report, the actual version 2022 is available for free from our webpage. Just go there and download the PDF. This is only the teaser, more or less, what you also see on the webpage. It's included in the report, but there's way more information. And again, we see here phishing email. And you see also what we have reached with our Cyberprotect solution here. For example, 376,000 URLs were blocked from Acronis Cyberprotect. So go to acronis.com and download. So coming again to my endpoint, I think you get the point that these devices are under attack. Hopefully not like this, but there are hackers, ransomware. There are even also something like, hey, deleted by mistake or whatever, which is attacking me. And now we create this data protection scenario. So in this case, it's not a shield anymore. It's a protection wall, maybe. And you see, there are a lot of things around where we try to safeguard your device in the middle. It's always about your endpoint with stuff like CDP, continuous data protection, to don't lose any file anymore. Smart protection plans, more intelligence. Remember in the beginning, I told you about AI and ML. Also here, we're offering so-called smart protection plans. We are running CPOCs, the Acronis Cyber Protection Operation Centers. By the way, 3 in total worldwide. We have 1 in Switzerland in our headquarters in Schaffhausen for the European market. And the CPOC is monitoring the threat landscape, because security is nothing, let's say installing Acronis Cyberprotect and all good. No, this is a process. It's an ongoing. You need to adapt. the threat landscape is changing, nearly every day. So you need to adapt also maybe your cybersecurity strategy. Therefore, we are helping you because not every customer is able or willing to run our own cyber protection operation center. We offer this. And this is the nice thing, we inform you as a customer. In your console, you see, hey, there's a new ransomware coming up, there's a new malware, or even natural disasters. Hey, there is a storm flood coming, maybe it might hit you. And this is our recommendation. So build on this information. We create smart, clever protection plans, and you only need to accept them. So you even don't need to think about it because we do it for you as a service. Safe endpoint recovery for sure. This is something we were all waiting for. What does it mean? Remember, in the past, when you do a backup of a machine, which includes malware, you have the malware in the backup. With our solution, we can do a malware scan during the recovery process to avoid bringing back an infection, reoccurring infection. If you have a malware in the backup, it's not really harmful. But when you recover this data, you always bring back the infection. Therefore, we can do a malware scan during the recovery process to make sure that, the data is clear and clean. Fail-safe patching, also something, it sounds like a small feature, and also in the GUI you will see it's just one button, but it's so helpful. If you set up the patching automatically, which is great, but what's happened if the patch is wrong and then the system is not booting up, and then I need to recover from my old backup maybe. So this could be a nightmare. Therefore, what we do with fail-safe patching, the system is just setting a backup point before it's installing the patch. So if something is really wrong, we can go back immediately to the point before the patch. Data protection map, monitoring tools, a global and local whitelist, a low list, really important. You know this from other solutions. And something which is not that common, which is called the forensic backup. Why is forensic backup important? Because if something happened, you need to figure out how could it happen. And I remember I went to a conference and somebody told me he's doing consulting in regards of cybersecurity, and he told me that for me the hardest point is really if a company is calling me because they had a ransomware attack. What they do when they had the attack and they see the attack, they immediately shut down the PCs because they are fearing that the ransomware is spreading, encrypting more or whatever. So for me as a consulting, to find out what's happened, it's really hard because the machine is turned off. So all the information which was in the memory and so on is gone. So it's hard to trace and find this ransomware. Therefore, we thought it would be a good idea to collect this information upfront. And that's exactly what we do with a forensic backup. We are tracking what processes are running on this machine, what is in the memory, and what is in the Slack storage. So also this hidden and normally not used storage will be backup, because often what our malware is doing to hide itself, it's running somewhere in a memory part which is not monitored, which is not used, also on a hard drive, using empty spaces which are not scanned by your traditional scanner. And we can take this information with our forensic backup to do further investigation at the end. By the way, it can also be used if you have a hacker attack and then you need to figure out what's happened, what was attacked, how many systems are attacked. You can use these forensic backups. So coming more and more to the real solution, because Endpoint needs more. Endpoints need this integrated security and management tool. And if you compare it with, let's call it legacy solution, so your traditional antivirus solution. And by the way, how many solutions are you using to do backup, to do antivirus, to do anti-malware, to do anti-ransomware, to do remote desktop, to do patching, to do URL filtering, to do whatever. So you see, only from telling you and asking you, I ended up with already 8 tools. We ask our channel, dear channel, how many tools are you using on an end customer machine to do all of them? And in average, we are talking about 5 different tools. 5 different tools to do this cyber protection. But 5 tools means complexity. If I need to manage 5 tools, this might be complex. Might be complex also from licensing perspective, deployment. I need to install 5 tools. I need to install 5 agents maybe on a machine. Also, I need to be trained on 5 tools to use them. And maybe one tool is seeing the other as a bad software or whatever. So it's really complex. It's also pretty expensive because you have these multiple tools, you have these multiple vendors and admin costs. If you have 5 tools, yeah. By the way, there is a how to say, a statistics about these tools. And in the US, they found out that an admin is using 64% of his time to manage the tools instead of doing his work. And this is due to the fact that we have so many different tools, which bringing this complexity. And also, it's somehow unsecure because of lack of integration. What does it mean? I'm always saying, okay, you have these 5 different tools. They are all really good in what they do. Let's see them as islands. So you have your antivirus island, you have your URL filtering island, you have your backup island, all good in this, as said, in this part, they are really good. But between this island, unfortunately, there's some water. And this water is used from the bad guys. Or let's see it as a puzzle piece. You have a lot of puzzle pieces, but there is this one piece which is missing or not fitting. And this is used from the others. And therefore, with our cyber protection cloud, we try to make it easy because we have just one solution to take out this complexity, to take out this risk of not being integrated, because it's just one solution, which makes it also efficiency. Efficiency in 2 ways. One, for sure, in regards of I have one tool, easy to learn, no high admin costs, no high license cost, but also efficient in regards of resources on my machine. What do I prefer on my laptop? Having one agent doing my cyber protection, or having 5 agents and everybody needs a little bit of RAM, a little bit of CPU. So I prefer to have just one agent doing everything. And finally, secure. If there is no water and there is no puzzle piece because it's just one big piece, then it's highly secure compared to different island solutions. And that's our Acronis Cyberprotect Cloud. So a deep integration, which gives you the possibility of new capabilities. You have only one agent on your machine, on your endpoint. You have only one policy. You have only one user interface to manage, to maintain, one license, one vendor. So you eliminate, and you see already on the right side, a screenshot of an endpoint protection plan. But let's go to this slide to describe it a bit better, because here I have listed. So now with one integrated solution, I just choose in one single plan what feature set I'm using, which leads to what level of protection do I need. And you see backup, yeah, remember in the beginning, Acronis was founded as a backup company, but now we do a cyber protection. We are a cyber protection company. So backup is only a feature and yeah, a point in our protection plan. Therefore, it's also called protection plan. In the past, I remember a few years ago, we talked about a backup plan, but now we talk about a protection plan. And backup is just part of it. Turn it on, and then all the features you're used to are included. You need disaster recovery? Okay, turn it on. Yes, no. You want to have full-blown antivirus, anti-malware protection? Go for it. Turn it on. URL filtering, if I need it, I can turn it on. Then the possibility even to control the Windows Defender on all the machines, the security essentials. It's not our feature, but what we are doing, because we want to drive the strategy or the single pane of glass, like the US always say, is the possibility to control the Defender out of our protection plan. You want to use it? For sure. Why not do it out of our protection plan instead of managing something manually on a machine? Vulnerability assessment. Okay, let's do it. Patch management. Yes, no. The data protection map. And finally, device control. Device control is something which is also from interest. Still a lot of malware is coming through USB. So it would be nice to have a possibility to just block this. We can do it. We call it device control. So you have a allow or deny list on the machine. And it's not only about denying a USB port because you are fearing from malware. It's also about, oh, I have internal bad actors which try to steal my IP. They try to steal my important data. Also, this can be blocked by for denying printer access, denying screenshots, and so on and so forth. Also, this is included, and everything in one single plan. So you have one policy for your endpoint, for your workstation, and this can be outrolled to many devices. In real life, at the end, if we, let's say, if we talk about the complete environment, about my IT environment, IT landscape, I would say you end up maybe with 2 or 3 plans, because you have to divide between an endpoint, you have to divide maybe between an endpoint in the company or in the home office. There are servers and so on, but we talk about, let's say, 3, 4 plans. One slide about these anti-malware capabilities, because often also I get the question, though, oh, Acronis, but you were founded as a backup company. Do you have expertise in this AI, ML, and anti-malware capability stuff? Yes, we have. We are doing, by the way, AI, ML, we are doing for many, many years. For those who knows us longer times, they also know we are having our active protection now for 6 years, nearly 6 years in the product, where we came up with the first protection against ransomware. So this is nothing new for us. We had different departments, developments, and tasks in the past. We just combined them now and formed Cyberprotect Cloud out of it. So for sure, our active protection is still in there. I would say the highly advanced anti-ransomware protection. And also here, by the way, you see this perfect integration. When you compare our Acronis active protection against other ransomware solutions, you see how this combination can work. So what is the normal process? Let's say I have a solution which is protecting me from ransomware. So most of the solutions like ours are based on behavior analysis. So there is a process who is behaving weird. Weird means he is encrypting my data. So the protection solution will react and will stop this encryption. But because being based on behavior, this behavior needs to happen. So there are definitely files which are encrypted. So with a normal solution, you have encrypted files at the end. So you need to recover these files from a backup. Maybe a backup is pretty old, so you're losing data at the end. For our active protection, being an integrated cyber protection solution, so having data protection and cybersecurity, what's happened? So the same happens again. Ransomware is starting, we see the behavior, we block this process, and this is now the difference, we can automatically recover these files being encrypted from a local cache. So with our active protection, a ransomware attack is, or the machine is like before, nothing really happened. Because we have this expertise, we have the technology, we know how to do backup and recovery. We just do it automatically in the background. You don't need to take care. So with our active protection, everything is like before. And then, as said, we are using this Acronis static machine intelligence-based analyzer and our behavior engine to have really full-blown stack. And nowadays with Cyberprotect, there is no need for another solution. And if you check the features in detail, you will see that most of the features and how the product is behaving is based on prevention. And there is this nice sentence from Ray Winston Freeman, physics in the US, 1922. He said, the best time to tackle a problem is before it arises. And that's exactly what we try to do. Most of our features in regards of prevention, we try to prevent you from data loss. It's all about, at the end, it's all about losing data and being up, business continuity. This is what we try to do. And trust me and be sure, the question is not if you will be attacked. The question is only when. And with this, I want to use the last few minutes for a short live demo so you see how the product is working. Let me stop my presentation here for a second. And no, not the Zoom. Let's log in to our console so you get an idea about how the solution looks like and how the solution is working. First of all, I need to log in to our cloud environment. You see it's two-factor, really important. I wouldn't use a solution without two-factor. In my case, I'm trusting my browser, so therefore I don't need the second factor, which is helping me and makes it a bit easier in my live demo. So now I'm logging in to the cyber protection console. Oh, and I can see it's still in German from my session yesterday. So let's change the language. The good thing is everybody can turn the console in his language he is preferring. We have, I think, 28 languages. So I just change it now to English, and you see it will be reloading, and then I having the English console. Here we go. This is the console of Cyberprotect Cloud. First of all, I'm landing on the monitoring overview page, the so-called dashboard where I can see what's going on in the environment. You see things like here, for example, today, I did backups for nearly 50 gigabytes. Oh, I had one malware which was blocked, no malicious URL blocked, but I have 160 vulnerabilities in my environment and 12 patches ready to install. And here are also the total numbers. You see activities here. I can do a mouse over and so on. The nice thing about our dashboard, I can arrange it by myself. These so-called widgets can be added. You see, here is the add button, and deleted. You can arrange them with drag and drop, whatever you want to see. It's up to you, not up to us. And here are, shit. Unfortunately, they are empty right now. No threads at the moment. I cleared them yesterday in my demo, and we have no new threads, which is somehow good. This is the information I told you about CPOC. Here you normally would see all the upcoming threads which might hit you. And from there you can read. And then go to the devices view where I see my devices. So these are all my systems. Here is the laptop I'm currently working on different machines. And what I try to do right now is, first of all, because let me clear my alerts here. So everything is green at the moment, perfect. And do the following. I'm using now one functionality which I really love is I'm using this Cyberprotect Desktop. So without any additional solution, I can connect directly to my machine. I don't need something like TeamViewer or whatever. For sure, I need credentials at administrator and log in to my Windows machine here remotely. No, I don't want to save it. And now I'm on my machine remotely. No extra software, either on my machine using to go there and also on the target machine. There is nothing beside our agent. And on this machine, you see a few things. I have crypto miners here and things like this. The only thing I want to do, because we are really short in time, I can only give you a teaser, but afterwards we can do more for sure. So I have here WannaCry simulator. I have a few Word files, you see. This is information about active protection, some marketing collaterals. So let's now run the ransomware and see what's happened. And I'm telling you before I would do, because often people came out of this demo saying, hey, I didn't see anything. Yeah, that's the purpose. If you don't see anything, then it worked. So let's see. I will start this process. Windows is warning me, hey, I don't know, it's unknown publisher. Yeah, I know. So now there's something running in the background. And it was really fast. And as I told you, you don't really see something. What's happened? We can see it in our console. Now I should have alerts here. Yep. And there is an alert. I need to refresh. Sometimes the Chrome, I'm not a big fan of the Chrome, but it's for this demo, it's really a good one. Oh, interesting. Where is the alert? This is, yeah, it's a live demo, so weird things are happening. Interesting. Normally, I should see an alert here. Let's try it again. And in the alert, you see what's happened, because the WannaCry is encrypted. Oh, here we go. Okay. Don't know what's happened exactly. So here's the alert. Suspicious activity is detected. On the machine, you see the machine I'm connected on. The WannaCry exe did the following. It encrypted these files. And what we did, we blocked this activity because it's not a normal activity. So therefore, the behavior engine decided to block this to really kill the process, this WannaCry exe, and this is really the difference here. It reverted the file changes from a local cache. Therefore, everything is like before. It's that fast, you even don't see that the WannaCry encrypted files and then we undo the changes. You only see it in the log. And this is exactly what we do. We react on this, we block this, and then we revert. Let's use the last few minutes to go through a plan to see, let's do it different. Let's go to management and create a new plan so you see how easy it is to protect the system. As mentioned, all the features are within one plan. You see, here are all these features. So first of all, I can select what backup if needed, yes, no, and if yes, and for sure you have a backup and you do regular backups, you decide what backup. Everything what we're offering since years, entire machine backup, so image backup, only a disk or volume backup, file folder, application backups, everything is included. Where to backup? Cloud storage, yeah, but even being a cloud solution, we are offering local storage as well. So you can use, in my case, this is my private Synology. I'm using my Synology as a target for my backups. But you can add any location. Could be a local folder on a machine, could be a network folder, could be an NFS share, could be an external hard drive connected to a machine or whatever as a location. Then the schedule, when should the backup job run? How long should the backup be kept? Encryption, yes or no, and adding an application, which is then creating an application aware backup. So everything you're used to is included. On top, we can add disaster recovery. You need disaster recovery? Okay, just turn it on. That's it. No further settings. How cool is it? Normally, when people think about disaster recovery, they think about, oh, really expensive. It's only for enterprise customer. You need to have a second data center. You need to double your hardware. You need to double your software. You need to double your invest at the end, and so on and so forth. With us, we are offering this out of our data center as a service. Just turn it on, and then it's there. And it's there when you need it. That's the important thing. Then antivirus, anti-malware protection. You have seen active protection, revert using cache. Yes, it's included. We have even advanced anti-malware. We can protect shared folders. We have self-protection, really important, a small button, but this is really important. Often what people are coming to me saying, okay, you did this demo, you explained this one agent, one console concept, really cool, but what's happened if this agent is attacked? If this agent is not running, the system is open because this is the only agent taking care about all the cyber protection. Say, yes, it is. Therefore, we are, how to say, hardening this action, agent, not action, agent, which means it's running on a special level on the operating system. So you cannot kill this process. If the process is dying to any reason, normally it's not happen. It's restarting automatically. So we make sure that this process is always running and you cannot kill it. And even as an admin on a machine, I'm not able to delete the agent or uninstall the agent, because what we can do, we can set a password. This is a randomized password. Now close. So now if I would apply this plan to a machine and I'm the local admin on this machine, so I have all the rights in the world, I'm not able to uninstall or disable the agent without this password. So also this we considered. And by the way, with safe protection, also we are ensure the registry records are not manipulated or changed, executables, configuration files, so all the really important Windows or Mac files will be protected and are not able to change anymore. Really important, the safe protection. A nice one, which is also nearly 6 years in the product, is the safe protection for our backup files. Because we know about special ransomware who is encrypting first my backup and then my machine to take me the chance of being able to recover a machine, because I cannot recover because I have no backup. Also, this is not possible with our solution. We protect our own backup files. Quarantine, as well as the scan, like you used to from other solutions, everything is included. So you see, it's really now everything in there. Then URL filtering, it's easy. Just setting up, okay, if we have malicious content, what should we do? Ask the user or block it completely. And then you can also, as said, filter certain URLs by categories. Let's say in my company, I don't want something about suicide. I don't want violent cartoons or whatever. Just put them on deny, or you can do it by yourself, saying, okay, I want to block, don't know, Amazon.com. So put it on the blacklist. So this is now a blocked URL and all subdomains as well. Then the Windows Defender, if I use it, I can control it out of our plan with all the features from the Defender, the same with the Security Essentials. Vulnerability assessment, just run this for your product, Microsoft or third party, and on top patching, and finally device control, where you allow access, yes or no. So with this, I know it was a short demo, but it should be only a teaser. We are offering free trials for you, free of charge. Just go to the webpage, sign up, ask us on this virtual conference. We are happy to help. Sign up for a try and play around, test it. The best thing to learn and get something out of it is really to test it. With this, thanks a lot and enjoy the rest of the day in this nice virtual conference. Hope to see you on our virtual booth and maybe also in another session somehow. Thanks a lot and bye-bye.